minutes that you have given me to my colleague from New York, Ms. Ocasio-Cortez. I'm glad somebody brought up the word suspicious activity, because that's just what's taking place in this room. Make no mistake about it. And I want to congratulate my colleagues from across the aisle for gathering us here today, almost distracting us from the biggest investigation that is going on right now in our country and in our nation's history, involving the former president, then the front runner for the Republican nomination, who is currently facing a 37-count indictment this week, and maybe 2 weeks from now more, and maybe 2 weeks from then more. But we're spending our time talking about Hunter Biden, someone who has already pleaded guilty to not filing his taxes, having a gun charge, and now I hear also paying for prostitution. But let's just remember that there was a case in New York not too long ago where our former president also got into trouble regarding payments and regarding a stripper, and was found guilty of a violation in civil court. Now, there seems to be a lot of hemming and hawing about special treatments. When the president, just a couple of days ago, tried to delay his federal documents trial and requested the U.S. District Judge Aileen Cannon, whom he appointed, to somehow or another consider the fact that he was a candidate, and therefore maybe his trial should be put off until after the election. That seems to me like special treatment if I've ever heard of it before. But I'm grateful that my colleagues on the other side of the aisle are taking at least tax evasion very seriously. And I would welcome also a hearing on the former president's history of tax evasion and how long it took to see his tax returns covering 10 years and what was the outcome of that decision. You know, the Trump organization was hit with $1.6 million in Manhattan State Court, being convicted of a tax scheme. So let's be real when we talk about this. It's not just Hunter Biden, but as long as we're saying Hunter Biden, we forget everything else. And again, Hunter Biden did step forward and said, I did not file taxes in 2 years, and yes, this gun charge I will take responsibility for. Now, I love the fact that we are so much in love with the IRS. In fact, Speaker McCarthy said when he was elected on the 15th vote that the first bill that he would repeal funding for was the bill that would provide for 87,000 additional IRS employees. My, don't we love the IRS? We're just going to cut their budget. In fact, there's a member of this committee who on their own website said that they are proud to have voted to strip away the plan to empower the IRS with additional funding. So I'm going to get back to those two words again about keeping it real, and I think we really have to do that. I just think, Mr. Shapley, two quick things. Did Hunter Biden in any way, in your knowledge, not Hunter, but did any of his children receive money, yes or no?
I think Special Agent Ziegler would be better.
Yes or no?
Special Agent Ziegler would be better.
Either one, yes or no?
Congressman, thank you for your question. Given by the statute, I am limited in my testimony I can give here today, but we can turn over any of the records that relate to the adult children.
Yes, we'd like to
House
see
Ways
those.
and Means Committee.
We'd like to see those. Really, I would, since we are so concerned about tax evasion, and we've got people at the highest levels of government doing it, and we don't want to talk about that at all. Now, here's what galls me. I don't like these attacks on the Department of Justice, the FBI, the IRS, as if they are somehow anti-U.S. agencies. Those agencies keep this democracy in check. It keeps them afloat. They provide the checks and they provide the balances. And we could be, quite frankly, using our time to better talk about crime in America that's affecting everybody, attacks on women's health, the economy, budgetary issues, public education, housing, the need for senior citizens to be able to pay for prescription drugs, child poverty, and mental health, to name a few. And yet we are doing this all over again for the Hunter Biden show, to someone who has pleaded guilty and has taken responsibility for not filing taxes for 2 years. This is ludicrous. Beam me up, Scotty. There's no intelligent life down here. None. I yield.